Autarch of Iyanden, High Admiral of the Eldritch Raiders and bastard scion of the House of Ulthanash. Prince Yriel is a consummate Eldar commander. He has led his forces to countless victories without fail, both on the battlefield and in the darkness of space. It was his fleet that annihilated the Chaos Armada during the Battle of the Burning Moon. It was his fleet that vanquished the repulsive bioships of Hivefleet Kraken and saved Iyanden, though in doing so, Yriel has doomed himself to a slow and terrible death. Over 50 years before the Tyranid assault, Yriel led the grand fleet of his craft world, though not of pure Iyanden blood. He was the pride of his craft world and was widely considered the greatest genius to have ever sailed the void. Yriel's character was flawed not only in bloodline, however, but also by the sin of pride. When Iyanden was threatened by an encroaching Chaos fleet, Yriel led the entire navy in a devastating pre-emptive attack that destroyed the foe, but in the process left Iyanden unprotected. Yriel expected to be honoured for his victory, but on his return he was stripped of rank for his recklessness. Furious, he vowed that he would never set foot upon Iyanden again. He became outcast and led his followers into exile as a Corsair prince. Such was his talent and drive that, within a few short decades, Yriel's Eldritch Raiders had become the most feared Corsair fleet in the galaxy. When the claws of Hivefleet Kraken began to dig deep into Iyanden's defences, the craft world's Farseers bitterly regretted the disappearance of their navy's greatest asset. The sheer scale of the bioship invasion alone was enough to drown all hope. As tides of alien killers began to infest the craft world itself, all believed the end was nigh. The flame of Iyanden's defiance was all but snuffed out. Just as the Eldar reached the point of total despair, salvation came from the heavens. Cutting his way through the cordon of misshapen hive fleets, Yriel and his raiders swept to the aid of their people. His return tipped the balance of the epic conflict between the two fleets, and, despite the horrendous losses suffered by the Eldar, the hive fleet was ultimately destroyed. The final battle did not take place amongst the stars. Yriel took the fight to the Tyranids, upon shattered Iyanden itself, seeking to personally slay the leader of the swarms, a monster so formidable it could not be killed by mortal weaponry. To the horror of the craft world's Farseers, Yriel took the cursed Spear of Twilight from its stasis field in the shrine of Ulthanash, an ancient weapon so powerful it would burn the bearer's soul. With the Eldritch artifact blazing in his grasp, Yriel slaughtered his way to the Tyranid leader beast. As he drove the Spear of Twilight through the creature's massive armoured head, its death scream signalled defeat for the Tyranid hordes. Yriel was later restored to admiralship of Iyanden's fleet, but in saving his people he had doomed himself, for the spear is no normal weapon and cannot be abandoned. Though he holds the office of Autarch to this day, he still plies the stars, seeking a way to restore his craft world to its former glory before he finally fades into myth.